Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores, or I go to estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I look for things that either I find appealing or that I think you guys would find interesting. And I try to find out as much as I can about them, and then I tell you guys about them. So here's what I've got today. This is a nice little two-piece. It is a sugar bowl, a very finely made one of that. Don't roll. Okay, it's gonna roll. Okay, so what we have here is a very nicely made sugar bowl. We have a mark at the bottom, we'll get to that in a minute. This lovely yellow glaze. It has these beautiful drops in this lovely spiral pattern, which I just think are just really amazing. You know me, I'm always into things that look unusual or have, are clearly made with a lot of care and attention. And this, I think, definitely counts. This is a lovely little piece of the 70s, just given form. I saw this in a thrift store. I bought it for $4, and I thought, if there's anything that kind of reminds me of that kind of big, kind of blobby, big colors, that big kind of flower power feel or whatever of the 1970s, it has to be this. It has that kind of aesthetic going for it. You know, I can imagine this being in like a 70s kitchen with big orange wallpaper and lots of chrome and, you know, that kind of thing. The mid-century, not quite the 1950s, later, the mid-century vibe. Anyway, let's measure it up. I'm gonna be careful with it now. It is about, let's say, 3 1/4 inches across. And 3 1/4 inches high, not including the lid. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, it's just shy of 4 inches high with the lid on. Okay, so the important thing, what exactly have we got here? Now, fortunately, we have a mark, and I knew just from memory when I was looking at it, it says here 5074 Franciscan, England. I knew from looking at that Franciscan was a good brand. I'd heard about this before. It's a bit like hearing about Fitz and Floyd or whatever. I just have this kind of just memory of these are the brands you should be looking out for. So I ended up looking out for this, and I thought this is definitely like something interesting, something cool. The unfortunate thing about it, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. It may do. You can maybe see it there. The lid has taken a lot of crazing. Very unfortunate, I have to say. Like, I'm sure someone probably put it through a dishwasher at some unfortunate point in his life. It is a sugar bowl, obviously. It's still going to be fit for function. It still looks really great. I think it's really nice. But it is Franciscan, and we do actually have information about Franciscan pottery. Let's go talk about this a bit. So well, first of all, what's the pattern? The pattern is called Sundance, which, by the way, I think is absolutely beautiful. Sundance, oh my god. It frequently comes up paired with this one. The pattern that came out at the same time was called Moon Dance, which was, they were going for a thing here, like, and I just love this. It's like you want to put the two of these together just to kind of, you know, to mix and match. So both of these patterns were released around the same time. There's like sister patterns or whatever, and they were both released in 1972. Now, we do have some information on Franciscan Ceramics themselves, but I'm most interested in the pattern. And it says here, Sundance USA specifically, discontinued and was produced from 1972 to 1977. And we have problems with this. We definitely do. Because if you look at the history of Franciscan Ceramics, and I will put the link down in the description if you're curious, this is something that was based in Los Angeles. And they were producing this stuff specifically in Los Angeles up to the mid-80s. From, if we see here, started around 1934 and then to 1962. And then they renamed and everything like that, and then Wedgwood. So the history of this particular company is that there is ceramic tableware they're produced by a particular company here. They're called Franciscan Ceramics, which is the line, I suppose. And they went through a few different iterations producing pottery and ceramics, but they were in Los Angeles specifically. They were, you know, obviously in the US. And this does not line up with our mark, which says Franciscan England, obviously. So where's the English connection? The English connection is Wedgwood. Now, there's a quick little, there's obviously more information in the article itself on Wikipedia, but what we have here is Wedgwood closed the Los Angeles plant in around in 1984, I think, moved the production of dinnerware to England in 1983, and essentially there was a more of kind of faffing about there, companies being transferred. But the important thing, for our purposes anyway, is that production of this type of ceramic wasn't in the US. And although replacements.com, which I usually assume is pretty good for this kind of thing, says the pattern was only produced up to 1977, we know that cannot be the case. This was produced, until at least 1984, because it was produced in England, and they weren't producing Franciscan ceramics in England until then. So we have this incongruity. We're not sure where this is from, or we're assuming that it must be from England. And when Wedgwood actually moved the company, they moved it to Staffordshire, so it's definitely going to be a good piece. It's got the Staffordshire ceramic. Anything that comes out of Staffordshire, the potteries, you're going to know that's good stuff. And I'm getting random notifications again. So what else can we say about it? Well, basically, there is a lot of information about the shuffling that went on with this particular company. They always produced fine stuff, but it's a matter of kind of essentially what's the name of the company that was actually producing it at the time, and where were they at the time. I do know that if I do see Franciscan, regardless of whether it has USA or England on it, it's going to be good. It's going to be very finely made, and you can definitely see, even for something that's from the 1980s, it's still a remarkably lovely piece. And to be honest, I love the style of it. It's because it's just so colourful. And Sundance itself is an incredibly popular pattern. Now, I did a quick look online to see what it might be worth. Mostly of what I see online is stuff like the plates. You'll see a lot of the plates, sometimes the cups. I cannot find another sugar bowl to actually reference. I think, based on the prices of the other pieces, this is probably worth about $20 to $30. And that's not bad considering I bought it for $4. I don't actually use sugar in coffee or tea, so I know somebody is really going to like this, and so it'll be going up on eBay, and we shall see what happens. So this is my small joyful thing for the day. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.